Well, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And I don't know what's going on with my tablet. Everything is choppy. There is no smooth motion for me. When I go like this with my fingers, it is a series of still frames. I can only hope that this is going to record properly. Nothing's going on. I've gone and emptied out the memory of my tablet, so yay. Anyway, though, it is a brand new day and I am alive. Yesterday, I started off the day not doing too bad up in here with this part of my body. By the end of the day, it felt like I had daggers in my back, right just past here. It was bad. Today I had to go to the Department of Social and Health Services so that I could get my food benefits restarted. It's only $23, but it keeps me in the system, and if there are changes, then there are changes, so hopefully. But still, I got into the system. I left here around noon-ish. Didn't take me long to get there, and at 2:30 I was out, so I was falling asleep in the lobby in the chair. And then walked back, and now I'm here and not using this arm. My arm itself hurts again. Yay. Which, even though my arm itself doesn't hurt, it's still, if I use my arm and it hurts, that's going to irritate the nerve. Yay. Past that, I mean, life is life. And, you know, I've gone to a place, I've done a thing I needed to do. That's a positive thing. Later on, tomorrow, I'm going to do another thing that I can. It's just, this took a lot out of me. I didn't think that sitting in one of those chairs that they have there was going to hurt me as much as it did. But if I'm not sitting properly, and these are straight back chairs, so I had to put my umbrella in my low back, and I use a regular orthotic device for my back, not orthotic, but a device for my back, so that my back doesn't kill me. And they don't have those there. The umbrella doesn't exactly fulfill the full requirement, so yeah. Yay, though, I am alive, and that's a good thing. I mean, I'm complaining, but that means I'm just a human being. I'm only complaining that much. Only it's important to me, so I'm going to talk about it. Yay. It's raining out there. I still need to get over to the pharmacy to pick up the card sleeves. I need to purchase the card sleeves of the right size, the small sleeves, for my other games that have small cards. One of the big problems is I have to get my stuff sent to the pharmacy for a drop-off and pickup, because we are not on the GPS here. If you try to use GPS, you'll never get here. And as a driver, you're going to rely on GPS. So you're not going to be paying attention to the actual sign that says Veterans Village and all that with the address on it when you drive by it, trying to figure out what's going on with your GPS, which always happens. So I can either have it delivered to me, which means it's going to go somewhere and within like a 10 block radius of me, and I'll have to figure out where, or I can have it not delivered at all. So yay. And that's exactly the thing with the sleeves. I mean, there's the things that'll be delivered there, and then if I can't have it delivered there, then it's supposed to come here, and that's with the sleeves, and it doesn't work because it's not going to get here. I don't know why they won't deliver to the Amazon drop-off point over at the pharmacy, but they won't. It has to go to a home address, and I ain't gonna use my home address or it'll never get here. So great. Later on, when GPS actually works, then, but until that moment, I mean, if you go on to the Google Maps and take a look in town, if you try to use the address, no, it's going to take you out into the middle of a street close to the hospital. If you know where we are, then you can drag through, street view, but when you get there to where we are, instead of where we are, it's just construction. They're tearing the place up and getting stuff ready to get going, and they're building things, but it's old and great. So, as it is, it's great, because I want those sleeves to protect my cards, but can't do that. Now, I did play, on another note, a game of Mini Rogue, and there's something going on with that I got a problem with. One of the rules is when you flip over a card and it reveals a monster that has a golden skull up in the corner, you are supposed to flip over the top monster on the exit. But what happens if you get to the exit and you haven't flipped over the monster? They don't specify. Now you can only move to the right and down. It is a 9-card grid. You can move to the right or you can move down. You can never move left. You can never move up. You can't move diagonally. You can only move to the left, to the right, or down. So it's only going to be a short amount of cards before you hit the exit. There's going to be a lot of times you get to the exit with the monster card not flipped. So what do? It doesn't say. Now when you get to that card, you're supposed to fight the boss, and then you delve. You go down a level. But if you get there and it's not shown, do you not fight the boss? It doesn't say. That's the one issue I have with the rules so far with Mini Rogue. Everything else, they do a very good job of going through and figuring stuff out. Now, here again, I'm going to talk about this because I'm still pissed off about it, and I got really angry. I think it was last night while I was out at Walkies. The game Bag of Dungeon and Bag of Dungeon 2. Because I have mentioned how the devs want home brewing of the rules. They want you to home brew it. So they're very vague on a lot of the rules because they want you to home brew it. The thing is, if I wanted to home brew it, I would have just written my own game. If these developers are saying home brew it, they're basically saying write your own game. In which case, why in God's name did I give you money then if your instruction book says write your own game? If I'm supposed to write my own game, why am I giving you money? I didn't pay you money to write my own game. I paid you money to play your game, your idea, your vision of it. Not my vision of it, your vision. That's why I gave you the money. And that bugs me so much because in these other books where they spend the time saying this is what can happen, these are unclear, here's how you can figure it out to help you play the game, versus this shows a lack of just care. And the problem is there's great games in there. They are just screwing the game as well as the player. Because if you've got a good game, you don't want to piss off the player by just saying, you figure it all out. Because again, if it's all you figure it all out, why am I giving you my money if I'm figuring it all out? That doesn't make any sense. So I get pissed off again at this whole attitude because it shows an absolute lack of caring on them, on their part. Pisses me off. To a small degree, there's another fellow called Toby Lancaster who does like 2d6 dungeon and stuff, and I'm pissed off by this fellow too, to a much smaller degree. Inside this one game, it says if you want to get your free maps, go to this address, because there's free maps for the game. You click that link, doesn't go anywhere. For 3 years, the guy has known that there is an incorrect URL in this PDF. and has never fixed it. If you do figure it out and you go there, it is just a link that takes you to the Patreon that says, if you want your free maps, here's one of the 3 levels of Patreon that you have to join. They're not much, but that's not free, is it? So you get your manual, you figure out how to get there, and then when you finally do, you gotta pay to get your free maps. The thing is, Toby Lancaster does a lot of games, and I've bought a fair number of them. They're fairly cheap, and they're good things. But if this thing right here, this little tiny but very obvious thing that you can see that is very flashy and wrong, he's not gonna fix. Is he gonna fix any of the smaller things in any of the other games? Or is he gonna be more of the ADHD type, the Bag of Dungeon people, where it's, let them figure it out? In which case, I didn't pay you so I could figure it out. I paid you for something that you figured out. If I wanted to homebrew this and figure it out, I just would have sat down and written it all myself, instead of paying you money for it. So Toby Lancaster irritates me to some small degree. And the Bag of Dungeon people, Gunpowder Studios, piss me off a lot. I'm still trying to play the games because their games are good if simple, and they have good ideas. It's not the game's fault. The games are good but vague in the rules. Not the game's fault. What is there in the game is good. It's just, those devs. Life is life. I just needed to get that out of my system now, because I've mentioned before, I have nobody really to talk to, and so I need to get this stuff out. If you don't get stuff out, you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke, raise your blood pressure and all. I only really have a camera to talk to, and especially right now, I can't even communicate by typing a whole lot. So, yeah, I get it out by talking to the camera, even about stupid stuff like that. Yay. Yeah, I think my color is dark tongued. I think my tongue is a dark color because I was eating some candy just before I started recording. I'm trying to limit myself if I have to eat stuff to like once a day now, and then no more, just one tiny little thing. And so I ate some candy at like 3 o'clock. No, it's closer to 3:30. Well, whenever I did, but that's it. So, thumbs up. I'm gonna start starving myself. It's not like I'm getting anorexia from my Losartan medication with a side effect of anorexia. And it's not like I've suffered anorexia before and made it through the other side. I mean, the fact that I'm going to be starving myself now has nothing to do with anorexia, does it? I wouldn't think so. I find it hard to tell when I'm being ironic or not anymore. That was indeed irony. I watched the video, and it has been talked about on various things, that if you get heavily into learning some kinds of things, this description of there's a whole irony circle that takes you to meta-irony. And meta-irony is a terrible place for everyone who's not there. The people that live in a meta-ironic place are horrible people. I try not to live in the meta-ironic space, because they are bad people. But the ironic headspace, where what I say could be serious or it could be a joke, you can't really tell. there's a lot of people that do that. It's a Schrodinger's douchebag sort of thing, where what they say is it might be a joke depending on how you take it. So, oh, well, that wasn't a joke. Of course not. You got offended. Or you didn't get offended. Or, oh, you were offended? No, I was just kidding. I live in the ironic area where I say stuff like that and be totally serious. I've done that before. Way back when I was an active alcoholic, like 25 years and some back. A friend of mine would take me to the store, and I would borrow a little bit of money from him and purchase some alcohol. And after doing that, I would turn him, look in the eyes, and say, thank you very much for enabling me. And I was serious in my thanks and in the ironic thank you for enabling me. Because I was being both a douchebag and a nice guy at the same point. So sometimes living in that meta-ironic spot is even bad for everybody. I try to do it for the jokes and the humor, not to hurt people or anything like that, though. Yay. Still, though, I mean, I have been... Oh, just turning my head hurts, so I'm gonna grab this. I bought rice today, again, because I had run out of rice. Not run out of rice. I got lots of the bismali? Yeah, whatever the name of it is, type. I got a lot of that, and then I got a big bag of this, but I wanted to get a smaller bag of this before I used up the big bag. I make up and eat rice every day now. I'm eating way too much rice because it's all carbohydrates, and carbohydrates make you crave carbohydrates. I crave eating rice all the time. I just want to be eating rice, and that's not good. Yay, fixating on foods. Collections of saliva. Yay, it's fun getting older. So I am going to try and do the best that I can. I gotta relax. I gotta just... Tomorrow is the day I'm going down to the hospital to try and figure out a whole bunch of stuff. I can only do really one thing at a time, and today took a lot out of me at the DSHS. I didn't think it was going to. I even got still a headache from it. So it took a lot out of me. I can't do that today. Tomorrow I'm going to be going down there. That's my daily project, to try and find out what's going on. Because as much as I don't want to have surgery, as much as it's a crapshoot when you do, as much as I really don't want to get hacked into, the compression is not going to get better. The tightening of the bone around my spinal cord is just going to keep tightening and tightening. It's supposed to be a 10 millimeter space between your spinal cord and the bone. It has grown in so close it's only a 5 millimeter space around between my spinal cord and the bone right up here in my neck. You're supposed to have nice flowing cerebrospinal fluid all the way up and down. There's a bottleneck right there. It's only going to get worse, and it's bad. Now, I can't not have surgery. But, you know, always a possibility. I'll die on the table or in recovery. But, you know, none of us gets out of this alive. I'm going to die at some point anyway, and metabolic processes will cease. I could end up worse off, paralyzed, bodily paralyzed, arms paralyzed, some part of my body paralyzed, sure. I could come out of it, have none of those issues, and it could be slightly worse. Or it could be the same. Or it could get better. I just want it to not get worse from where it is now. Anything past that is gravy. So, I'm going to do the best I can. I think probably what's big issue here today is last night I was trying to play mini rogue and such last night. And I did play a round or two. It's fun. I just got that question, and unfortunately the way you got to sit and move and reach your arms and stuff, that kind of apparently did the job here. Owie kerzowie. So I'm going to be taking it easy as I can, trying to get done what I can get done. Hopefully you can get done what you need to get done, and that's good. For every one of my Patreon patrons, thumbs up and thank you. You are beautiful and awesome people. As soon as I can, and it might be after surgery, I'm going to have names up here again to show off these beautiful and awesome people. But until that time, when you look into the mirror, you know you're looking at someone who is indeed beautiful and awesome. For everybody that leaves me comments, I'm answering as many as I can, but that's not many, and I'm very sorry about that. But each and every comment, except for the abusive ones, and there are a few, but not many, except for the abusive ones, are appreciated, read and appreciated. I thumbs up, I heart, I do whatever I can to let you know they are read and appreciated. So yay! So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very, very good thing. Pain is so much fun.